Okay.
So do I?
No, I'll do it.
Welcome everyone.
Okay. I'll do it. No problem.
Okay.
All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our webinar on When You Yearn, to earn while you learn. This wonderful title is given by my co-host who's trying to join in, Andre sir. He should be here any moment. So thank you. I thank each and every one for taking out the time and joining us in our webinar today. On behalf of all my staff, my Don Bosco family, I welcome all you professionals, parents, students, ex-students. Thanks for joining. Okay, so today we have our very own students who have worked a lot, who are passionate and are passionate, and have opened their own venture during this pandemic. Now it doesn't really it doesn't really matter which department you are from, as far as you're opening something of your own, which needs a lot of dedication and a lot of research. So we have 8 panelists with us today. So let's start off with those 8 panelists. So I'll just share my screen to you. Oh, just a minute, sorry. All right, I know we have just put up their logos because they're so good looking and so creative on it that we couldn't miss it. And here we go. Our first panelist with us is Nashon Pereira. He is a grad student. He has his own venture named as Grillicious. And about Nashon, he has always been a hardworking guy, very responsible in whatever he did and he's been doing. The next panelist with us, we have Jordan Mascarenas. Now this young man is in his current 3rd year, and from the first year itself had a big attachment with bar. In his first year itself, he won a bar competition. If I'm not mistaken, it's at DY Patil. He won the first prize out there, and recently he won the Olympiad, the wine Olympiad. He's been the first runner-up out there. So Jordan has opened his own venture named as Bartisans, and that's his logo. It looks amazing. And welcome, Jordan. Thank you for joining us. The next panelist is Nigel D'Souza. Nigel, again, has a lot of attachment towards bar, but used to always worry me during kitchen practicals, like, chef, how do you do this? How do you do that? Please share this, please share that. Very eager to learn. He has opened his own venture named Cookie and Crumble. Well, I love the logo. The next, you may be wondering, he's an international imported chef. He looks like one of the Philippines. He's none other than Andy Gonsalves, again, a 3rd year student. Andy had a big attachment towards the kitchen, towards the hot kitchen, but suddenly landed up opening his own venture named Andy's Cheesecake. So thank you and welcome, Andy. The next person, we have Devraj Roy. Now, Devraj has always been there in the kitchen from the first year itself. Very, very keen learner. But Devraj always wanted to do something oriental. He's more towards the oriental side. Well, he has opened his own venture where again, he does Indo-Chinese. The name of his venture is Good Food Raj's Home Style Kitchen, sorry. The next, we have this young lady who's Rachel Narona. Again, very responsible, has her own venture named Naronas. Thank you, Rachel. The next one, we have Ratnavi Shetty. Again, wanted to be a baker, but has some little bit of interest towards the other departments as well. Again, has opened her own venture named Crumbles. The next one, we have this young man, Raul Daniel, who is our second-year student. The name of his venture is The Lazy Panda by Rahul Daniel. Last but not the least, we have Vinona Duarte with her own venture, The Twin Kitchen. So I welcome you all. Thank you for joining us in our webinar and taking out the time, especially with your hard schedule. I know you have work out there, but still, thank you very much. Over to ma'am. Ma'am, unmute.
Okay. Welcome everybody. To especially the first years who are watching, you need to realize that starting a venture is everyone's dream. But actually putting yourself out there, putting your work on the line, putting your personal signature on the line is an extremely risky and an emotional and difficult thing to do. And here these student entrepreneurs have decided to take that massive leap with whatever resources they've had, making use of all their connects and all their tech savviness to be able to make sure that they start off a venture which I know is going to just grow by leaps and bounds. Before I do anything else, I would like to thank Chef Melroy and Andre sir. Welcome, Andre sir,
Yes.
who have curated this wonderful event. You know, we have Andre, who's our beverage wizard, and Chef Melroy, who's our food wizard. And somewhere along the way, these two wizards have actually left their indelible mark on these students, and hence these ventures have borne fruit. To all of you panelists, I am beyond proud and happy, and I am so glad to be part of your journey to wherever you all are headed, and I know it's only success. So with that, ladies and gentlemen who are watching, you're in for a wild ride, an amazing 1 hour where these youngsters are going to show you that there are no boundaries for success. There is no age limit. There is no, there are no restrictions. If you have passion, you have drive, and you simply have the will to work, anything and everything is possible. So with that, I'll hand it over to Chef Melroy and to Andre sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good evening, Chef Melroy, and thank you very much for our panel.
Welcome, sir.
So before we actually get into the presentation of food that students have made, I have one question for all of the panelists. Who inspired or encouraged you to start your own or collaborated venture? Can we start off with Nashwan?
So I guess Nashwan has not yet joined. He's in his meeting, I guess.
All right.
We'll move on to.
Sure. We'll move on to Jordan.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Jordan.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Jordan.
Yes.
Jordan, would you like to tell us who inspired you? Or
Yeah. I'm sorry. So, I think that my inspiration comes mainly from my parents, who have always supported me with whatever I want to do. And I owe them a lot of gratitude for what they've done for me, for everything, for supporting me with whatever I've been wanting to do. So I think it mainly goes towards them, and also towards everyone who's helped me throughout my college, wherever I needed help in learning something new, everyone was always ready to help me out. So it was always amazing, especially Andre sir with his knowledge, which really inspired me to get into beverages and the bar, which led to my new venture.
We're super proud of you, Jordan. Can I ask you a question to the next panelist, Nigel?
All team. All team.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Nigel. Where do you derive your inspiration from
Good evening.
starting up your own venture?
I feel like I get my inspiration mostly like from my own curiosity to opening our own venture. Also seeing other people, build their lives through this ventures. So I thought, why not give it a shot? And here I opened my own venture and enjoying it. And also it's one of a free times. This is the only time I feel where everyone gets to do something that they cannot do in the usual time of their lives in the busy schedule. So I thought might as well give it a chance and see how it goes through. So I've opened my own venture, Cookie and Cream.
Hey, excellent, excellent. For all out there who are listening to this webinar, you should know that all of these students who are starting on their own ventures are all just studying simultaneously. So every day they have classes, morning and the afternoon with assignments, and are yet able to start up their own venture. I'm going to move on to Andy.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Andy.
So for me, I would have to agree with what Nigel said, that with the quarantine and stuff like that, the lockdown in progress, there's not a lot for people to do, especially me. So I decided to invest my time into starting something that could potentially help me in the future in the guise of a business, because it teaches you a lot of skills that do help you along the way. And in terms of who's inspired me and helped me, of course, my parents have been there from the start, and especially my brother. So that's that. Thank you.
Super, super, Andy. Thank you. Can we move on to our next panelist with us?
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, with us.
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I always wanted to start something of my own. I always dreamed of opening my own restaurant. So my parents and my friends always supported me to open something of my own, like home style cooking. So as you know that they always knew that I'm going to be a chef. So they always used to tell me like, Devraj, when you're making something new dish to taste, what you're making today, please like make something for us. So then as during the lockdown period, the restaurants were closed. So then my parents and my friends, they gave me an idea, like at least start something from your home, like cook something and do sell to people in your area and locality and among friends and relatives. So then I just thought of starting something. Then I just gave it a shot. Let's do it. So I designed my logo, and then I designed my menu and all. And that's how I just started my own business.
Fantastic, very inspirational. Fantastic. Thank you, Tejas. I can now move on to Rachel Odona.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. My dad has been in the catering industry for a very long time now. And all of us at home, that's my parents and my elder sister, all of us knew that we wanted to open up something like a cafe or something of our own. So I guess spending time at home because of the lockdown, that's the only thing that helped us begin work on the same, and hence came the Narunas.
Super, super, Rachel. Thank you very much. Ratnavi.
Good evening, everyone. So when the lockdown began, I think most of us felt really unproductive and lazy because we're used to being on the run in college. So I was always contemplating on starting my own business, but never had the confidence to start my own business. I have to give credits to my mother, my sister, and of course Rachel, who has really pushed me to start my own venture. Thank you.
Excellent. We now move on to Rahul Daniel.
Good evening, one and all. So inspiration, it lies in my family, I think. I've always had this dream of having something of my own. And now in this lockdown with, normal things getting pouring around the house, not being able to get out and, do usual activities. My mom noticed that, I'm just sitting around doing nothing. So she came up with this idea of, why don't you just start something, take orders, and deliver it to the people. And then that's how I came up with the concept of the weekend kitchen, the lazy panda. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Great. Can't wait to hear a lot more about the Lazy Panda.
Yes.
Move on to Vinona.
Hi. Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes, you are.
So my inspiration mostly comes from my mom. She's had a cake business where she does wedding cakes now in past 15, 16 years. So, and I love trying out new dishes. So we decided after 3 months of continuous screen time and nothing to do at home, we decided to start something new. So that is how I came up with the twin kitchen, and I do it with my mother. So yeah.
Lovely.
Chef Melroy, we have
Yes.
on with us.
No, sir, not yet. Not yet, sir.
Just could you ask our panelists to talk about their food and present their food?
Yes, sir, we should. So we'll start off with Jordan, sir.
With food and beverage.
And beverage. That's why I remember.
That's right. So, Jordan.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So, can I start?
Please do. Go ahead, Jordan.
Okay, lovely. So, I'm going to show you two of my products today. They're two different kinds of products. So, one is a cocktail experience kit, and one is a cocktail party premix. Okay, so so I'm just going to show you that this is our cocktail experience kit. Okay, so if you just like to see what's in it. So here we have our different syrups. We give a bottle of tonic water. We also now started giving measurements for each ingredient. So it's easier because people at home, they generally might not have a jig or might not have different equipment. We have a garnish, which we pre-pack and we send. We have a menu card of this. And we have cocktail napkins also. So I'm going to give you a demo on this one first, the cocktail experience kit. Right. So we just start off with our regular shaker. Okay. And then we start mixing our ingredients. So generally we will put before the instruction card over here. Okay, and go along with 45 ml. We give you a variety of different alcohol you can use. So you can go with either gin, you can go with vodka, or you can go with white rum in this particular cocktail. So let me give you this about this cocktail. It's called Purple Rain. It is made of blue pea tea and mint syrup. So let me just start. So I'm going to start off with around 45 ml of gin. And then going to move on to our blue pea tea. Okay, so it comes again packaged in the bottle. So we go on to 45 ml of blue pea tea. Then we head on to our mint syrup, okay, and that's around 30 ml of mint syrup. And just a few dashes of our house bitters, which we make in-house. So that's around maybe 2 dashes. And then we fill up with some ice. and just give it a hard shake. Get a nice glass out.
Wow, super, super.
Just to top this off, we also add around 10 ml of lime juice just at the end to give it a change of color from blue to purple. So I'm not sure if it's visible from there, but just around 10 ml of lime juice to cut down the sweetness and to give it that color changing effect.
Super, magical.
And then we also just top it up with a bit of tonic water. So just a little bit and head on towards our garnish, which is a mint sprig and a lime wheel. So get open to this. And we just add the garnish into the drink. This is your purple rain.
Voila. That's excellent. That's excellent, Jordan. That's excellent.
Thank you, sir.
That's how, ladies and gentlemen, during this lockdown, even though bars are closed, you can have an entire experience of wonderful cocktails and mocktails in the comfort of your home through bars.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
I was talking to the audience, Jordan.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Okay, I'll just move on to our next product, okay, which we call the party premix. All right. So in this, it's a very simple way of making a cocktail. Okay, we open it up and we can find a simple premix, okay, which has all the ingredients mixed. You have to just add your ice and your alcohol to it, and we provide you with the garnish. And also now we started providing you with the spoon for your measure. So let me just explain this to you. We can take a highball glass, okay, add in again bit of ice. So this cocktail is called Beyond Rose. So it has a little bit of rose, cardamom, and lime flavors. So we'll head on to add around. It goes best with whiskey. So we suggest using it with whiskey. So around 45 ml of whiskey in this, and then just around 50 ml, which is the pre-measured spoon which we provide. Okay, 50 ml of 50 ml of the premix. Okay. Just give it a slight stir.
It's beautiful color.
And then you can garnish it with, we provide you with a dehydrated lime slice. So it's a nice garnish which goes over, and just a few rose petals. So dried rose petals. So a nice little touch to the drink. And then again, this is a Beyond Rose and Purple Rain.
Lovely.
Super.
Looks amazing, Jordan.
Thank you, sir.
Truly amazing, Jordan. So, literally, I mean, with participants in the past 3 or 4 months, Jordan, you have been working very hard. I know that, in spite of your studies going on as well, in spite of taking part in the Young Familiar Olympics and being the first runner-up at it. All right. How is the past 3 or 4 months been with even putting up your own website? Can you give us any insight into putting up your own, starting your own venture?
So we've been at, so again, we've been at this since I came back from Dubai after my internship. I came back with this dying passion because in Dubai, I learned a lot from the bartenders over there as well. I had a good experience over there. So I was dying with a little urge to push me towards something to do with bartending. And we were sitting at home and we were just wondering that how it would be for us to order a cocktail online and just add our own booze. So from that, we just took it a few steps forward, and that's how we got up to the entire idea of starting off with Bartisans. So Bartisans actually started off with we we've made our own website. We haven't hired anyone to do our website. Our videos and photography are all done by us. So it's a very lean startup. Okay, we like to call it that. It's a lot of our passion that drives us. As you can see, the entire bar behind the entire design of the bar is also done by us, by my parents, because they are into home decor. So we are expanding into a lot more than just cocktails. We are going into bar decor. We'll also be going into a lot of other aspects in the beverage industry, which we are very excited about. Like, for example, we already started off with this cocktail premix kit, the cocktail experience kit. But then just thinking of people at home not having the right equipment maybe, or not having the the patience maybe to make their own cocktail with one ingredient individually, we started off with our party premix, which people can just pour themselves a drink, add their alcohol, and have a good time. So we're looking into different aspects. Next, we're actually going to go into a thing where we give you a jar. Okay, so the entire premix is in the jar. You add your alcohol, you add your ice, shake it, and drink it straight from the jar. So there's minimal effort, and you can just you can just have your cocktails at home. So be your own bartender.
Absolutely phenomenal, Jordan. Thank you
Thank you,
so
sir.
much for sharing that with us. The bar looks outstanding. Thank you for the
Thank you.
compliment.
Thank you
That's
so
very
much.
good.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Jordan.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So next we have Nigel with us. Nigel D'Souza. So Nigel, what are you showing us today?
Just one sec, sorry.
Sure.
If y'all cannot see it, I'll just get it. Okay. So I'll be showing you all a millionaire cookie, which is
Okay.
like a Irish. Once again, just check my angle. Which is a Irish short crust with a caramel filling in the center, and
Wow.
it's topped up with chocolate. So this is a plain short crust which I made. Like, it's a normal short crust.
Okay.
And then this is the one that has a caramel over it. So just going to top it up with the chocolate at the end. So it gives it a nice flavor to it. Normally this is had with a little bit of salt. So because it's too rich with the caramel in it. So I prefer to add a bit of salt. So it cuts down the sweetness of it. So just
Lovely. Nigel, you're on mute.
yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
So right now I'll be just pouring over the chocolate over the one that I've already made. So this already has the short crust down. I just made the caramel. It's like a normal caramel, like in the ratio I put 300 grams of sugar, then 150 ml cream and 2 tablespoons butter. So it gives it a nice like chewy bite instead of keeping it a runny, flowy caramel sauce. So I'll just be adding the chocolate and then just keeping it in the fridge so it sets for some time so that the chocolate gets hard over it. This is normal chocolate melted so that it's not a ganache, like where a ganache would not like solidify in the fridge. This is normal chocolate melted, and this I'll just go keep it in the fridge for around 5 minutes and then
Okay.
it'll get done.
All right. It's amazing. Yes. Nigel, you're on mute again.
Sorry. I just
Okay.
kept it in the fridge for the chocolate to set so that it gets a nice hard crunch on top, and you can like it gives it a bite to it. So that's sort of millionaire cookies. It's an Irish cookie, like
Okay.
originated in Irish. So it's yeah. That's all that I have
All
for.
right.
That's a
Okay,
millionaire
Nigel.
cookie.
That's amazing. We're waiting for it. Till the time it's
Yeah.
getting set. Okay,
Yes.
Nigel, till the time it's getting set. With the brownies and millionaire cookies you make, how do you manage delivery with safety precautions in place?
Right now, like due to this COVID situation, like I tried a Dunzo for the first time,
Okay.
but then it turned out to be a bit expensive as like they take 30% of the cut of your profit,
Right.
so that's like you are going mostly into loss. So then I'm like, why not just try it out on your own only, like go and deliver it on your own. So this also had like a personal touch to it, like the person himself is coming to deliver it to you. So you can tell the person like to give a honest feedback, or you can like interact with the person to get to know him much better. And also I like the first week when I started it, I used to take cash payment.
Okay.
But then I thought it's too risky now. Like people will also like want to do Google Pay and all, which is much easier, simple transaction. So then I switched to Google Pay and so on. Like now, if I go to deliver it, I either tell them to come down and I'll keep it as a security guard and let them pick it up and then Google Pay me, or either they'll Google Pay me first and then I just go and deliver it to their place.
Okay, lovely. That was great. So, where did you get this term millionaire from? How did you get this term? The name,
The
sorry.
millionaires normally, because the cookie is very rich, like the short crust is also very sweet. Then comes the caramel, which is on like to a next level sweetness because it has a lot of sugar in it. But then the bitterness comes from the bitter chocolate that I use just to cut down the sweetness of the caramel and the short crust. So I feel the millionaire comes because it's rich, it's very sweet. So that's how the term comes, millionaire cookie.
Okay, thank you, Nigel. So
No,
I'm
sir.
waiting to see your millionaire cookie.
Yes,
Are we seeing it right now or might be later?
Later, I feel. I have to let the chocolate set for some time.
Okay, Nigel. Thank you so much.
Welcome, sir.
Yes, Nigel, we sure taste $1 million as well.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We're going to move on to Andy. With his venture, Andy.
Hello.
Yes, Andy.
So so what I'm going to be showing you all today is something from the menu that I made. It's a type of cheesecake which comes from the region of Basque. It's a place called Basque Country, so therefore it takes the name and it's referred to as a Basque cheesecake. But it's also called tarte de queso, which means a cheese tart in Spanish. So I'm going to show it to you all right now. So this is what it looks like when after it's been baked and cooled. It looks rather unneat with the parchment paper sort of sticking out and pushed in all around, but it's part of the recipe, and I will show you all why in a second. On top, you see a very, very deep brown crust. On certain parts, it even looks black. But again, trust me, it adds to the flavor and the whole charm of the dish. I'm going to put you all down for 2 minutes right now while I demold the cake. So as you can see towards the edges where the parchment has been pushed in and folded, you get these sort of ridges, and the cheesecake is baked at a very high temperature, which causes it to rise and thus sink. So you get the sort of the curve, which people refer to as the crown. As you can see, if I show you from the other side, it's all over. It's like all craggly, which is all part of it. But the interior of the cheesecake is a bright white, which I wish I could cut in and show you all, but sadly I can't for this one. So this is what I started making and selling at home.
Andy, I have a question for you. I mean, a cheesecake is a dessert for every season and for every occasion. Alright. So how do you plan on taking cheesecake to the next level? You have other various cheesecakes that you want to put out there.
So right now, I think if someone pictures a cheesecake, they think immediately of this like white sort of mousse on top of this spongy kind of crust and like this sticky blueberry thing on top. But I think like cheesecake is one of my favorite desserts. So with this whole quarantine thing, I started making it and learning more about it. And I've seen that there are a number of different methods and techniques used, which create very, very different and much more tasty products. So hopefully I want to like try to bring some of them forward and try to spread them and show people that cheesecake can be a lot more than just this white thing. Like there's a lot more to it.
If I'm not mistaken, you also planning to do a Japanese menu, right?
Yeah, I plan on trying to start making a Japanese and an Italian version of cheesecake. So the Japanese cheesecake, because it's like it's very in market nowadays, like it's all over the internet. It's soft, it's bouncy, it jiggles. So it's very, very fashionable right now. But the Italian cheesecake with ricotta is something that I've not seen. So that's something that I want to start pushing a lot more so people can try it and, you know.
Super, super, Andy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, next we move on to Devraj. Devraj, you're on mute. You need to unmute yourself.
Yeah. I'm audible?
Yes. You are.
So I just started my venture with only 4 dishes, like chicken lollipop, vegetable cheese ball, chicken biryani, and pasta.
Okay.
So then people like chicken lollipop a lot. They told me whether you can make chicken crispy, chicken Manchurian, fried rice, and noodles. So I, because of that, curate another Indo-Chinese menu. So today I'm gonna make I've already prepared chicken lollipop with authentic Season sauce, and I'm gonna make chicken Alfredo pasta.
Lovely.
I will just show you.
Sure.
So here I have ingredients like chicken. Here I have sorted mushroom and with garlic. Here I have roasted assorted veggies. I have roasted them and just sauteed in butter. I have Amul processed cheese for garnish. I have chili flakes. I have oregano. I have used Amul fresh cream. Uh, and we do use a little bit of olive oil. And here I've taken fusilli pasta. And if you can see, I've already plated our chicken lollipop with authentic Szechuan sauce. So now I will just start with preparing pasta. Just waiting a little bit to pan gets hot.
Okay.
Then put sauteed garlic with the mushrooms. Then I'm going to add my veggies.
So these are just bell peppers, right?
Yeah, bell peppers, zucchini.
Okay.
Red bell peppers, yellow bell peppers, and now I'm going to add my chicken.
So the chicken you added is already cooked, or is it
Yes,
raw?
it's cooked.
Okay. All right.
Like I've just marinated with salt and pepper, then I've just
Okay.
fried the pan.
So do you use sauteed chicken or roasted or blanched or poached? What type of chicken do you use?
I use salted chicken, sir.
Okay.
I'm gonna add my pasta.
Okay.
Now I'm going to put my cream, Amul fresh cream.
Okay.
I'm gonna mix them together.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna add a little bit of oregano.
Mhm.
A little bit of chili flakes. And I'm just gonna grate this Amul processed cheese.
Right.
Just a little bit for the garnishing. Yeah, I'll just put a little bit more of cream.
Mhm.
Just gonna give it a taste. Just check whether the salt and pepper is proper. It's perfect. So I'm just turning off the gas. So,
Lovely. That looks amazing.
garnish again. Garnish again. I'm just gonna put a little bit of chili flakes, oregano.
Mhm.
And grated Amul processed cheese. There you go, chef. Pasta and chicken lollipop.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So now, Devraj, I have one question for you.
Yes, sir.
So now I've seen you always in the kitchen. You have always been an active member in the kitchen for all our events. What exposed you to do Indo-Chinese and what helped you to curate your menu?
As I said earlier, like I just started with chicken lollipop, and many of them loved it.
Right.
They told me whether you chicken crispy, and if you can make like they just told me, if you can make chicken Manchurian, Hakka noodles, and chicken fried rice. So I worked in Asian kitchen during my internship at Trident BKC. So I learned a lot of skills of Indo-Chinese over there. So I just thought, I think I start this because there are many people, they do love Indo-Chinese, and it's available in all the restaurants. So I just thought of curating this menu, and to what I've done here is done costing, and I make sure that my price is quite valuable, and people do love my food.
All right. Thank you, Debraj. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, chef.
Okay, we move on next. Andre sir? Yes. We move on to Rachel.
Yeah, hello. So today the dish I am presenting is honey garlic chicken. I'm not sure if you all can see it well.
Yes, we can. We can.
Yeah, so this dish is basically a classic Chinese cuisine. It's basically made by marinating the chicken in flour, corn flour, egg and salt, giving it a dry batter, and then is deep fried and then tossed in a honey garlic sauce, which mainly consists of soya, chili sauce, finely chopped ginger, garlic, chilies, and then is drizzled with honey and a dash of lemon to give a zing to it. So my family, like my mom tried out the recipe and we just tried it out for ourselves at home and we loved it. So we thought, why not put it on our coming week's menu? So we did it and our customers loved it even more. So, so much so that, you know, we got bulk orders in the following weeks. So I think this was one of the best sellers in the menus which we have.
Yes, looks divine.
Rachel, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
You have classes and you will come up with weekend menus. It's very interesting. I've seen some of the menus are quite elaborate. Can you tell us about how you work that?
Okay, so so initially when we just started, we used to put up starters along with main course dishes. And what we noticed is that the starters were more in demand compared to the main courses. So we saw that we stuck to the starters itself. And if you ask me about desserts, we didn't start desserts initially with our menus. We came up to it later because we were still working on it. And now if you go to see, like every second lane there's a baker who has his own, and it's going pretty well. So what we do is we try to experiment with new desserts which are unique and only put two new elements for people also look forward to it, and there's nothing. And the concept behind the new menu every week is that we wanted to break the monotony of a set menu unlike the others and give the customers something new to look forward to every week.
Super.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Thank you for sharing that, Rachel.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rachel. Next, we move on to Ratnavi. Ratnavi, you have to unmute yourself. Yes.
Hi everyone. So firstly, before starting, I would like to thank Animal Ma'am, Andre Sir and Melroy Chef for giving us the opportunity to come and showcase and talk about our venture. So I have so my name so the name of my venture is Crumples, and I have an Instagram page on it which showcases the different kind of dishes I bake. So today I'm going to be talking about vegan brownies. It is a very distinctive but yet upcoming trend that I have seen in youngsters that have wanted to shift from non-veg products to veg and vegan products. I wanted to raise awareness about how vegan products can not only be healthy but also can be tasty. So today I made some vegan brownies. I don't know if you can see because I'm on my laptop. but I'm not sure if you can
Yes.
see. Okay, wait.
Oh, yes.
Looks delicious.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
The view that we got was delicious.
Thank you, ma'am. So yeah, so I want to shift my whole menu to only gluten-free and vegan products, but because it's not very easy to get these ingredients here, I'm starting off like little by little.
All right. That was amazing. Thank you, Ratnavi.
Thank you, sir.
Ratnavi, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Since you have prepared a vegan brownie for us, tell
Yes.
us about vegan food.
Okay, so vegan food, it's basically it's coming into India like since the past 4-5 years, but it's been in the Western culture since a long time. Vegan food is basically where you do not use any animal products. So like I basically, to make it healthier, I use products like vegan butter, flax seeds, almond flour. So we aren't using anything that is not like that has dairy in it. So yeah.
So these products are easily available? It's just a question.
It's not easily available. So in the start of the lockdown, everything was
Right.
shut. So we had nothing around here. But then I researched and I found this place in Bandra that is known as the Rare Earth.
The rare.
It's a vegan cafe and
Yes.
it also sells products.
Products.
So I went there and I asked and I spoke to them and they had a lot of stuff in fact. So now
Right.
like it's readily available.
All right. Thank you, Ratnavi. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so
sharing.
much.
We move on next with our panelist, Rahul.
Good evening once again.
Good evening,
Rahul.
Good evening. So firstly, I'd like to thank Ma'am Annabelle and the faculty for giving me this opportunity to present. So the main concept of what I have started with the Lazy Panda is a weekend kitchen. So I prepare a dish during the week, and then I, plate it out, click very mouth-watering pictures of it, put it up on social media, and that's how I advertise for it, and I get this. So I'm just going to show you one of my dishes one of the many dishes that I have been selling over the weekend. So I'll show you now. So over here, if you can see, I'm going to do chicken and cheese nachos. So this is how I do the packaging. So here I have a packet of nachos. It's in a Ziploc bag. Okay, so this is how it goes to the customers in a pack of 3. Okay, so in this Ziploc bag are the nachos. In this foil container, I have the salsa, and in this foil container, I have chicken keema. Okay, so it goes like this to the customers, and then as and when they want, they can arrange it into a platter, as I'm going to show you in a second. So first, all they have to do is, I hope you can see.
Yes, Rahul.
Yeah, so first you put in your nachos on your platter. Right, so once your nachos are in, you put a layer of salsa on top. And after the salsa, put on a layer of the chicken keema. And then you finish it off with processed cheese. Now I'm just going to go put this in the oven for about 2 minutes or so till the cheese melts, and I'll bring it back out. I'll be back in a second.
It looks absolutely scrumptious, Rahul.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Rahul, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I'm from college, be it for events, be it for interviews, you're always helping us with the IT and digital stuff. You are a digital whiz at the end of the day. Very few people know that you actually are very passionate about cooking. I have your passions in the kitchen as well.
Yes.
All right. Do you think it's important to use social media today and Instagram and Facebook to promote your venture?
Yes, it is very, it does, for me, it does play a very crucial part in what I am doing, because 4 months ago when I started this, I started it out as simple WhatsApp messages that I would send along with the attachment of a photograph. And from there, then I moved on. Last month, I opened an Instagram page for the Lazy Panda. And in the same way, I post a photo along with the details for to contact me or to get in touch with me and place your order. That's how I have gone about using social media, and it's nothing complex. It's a simple method. It's just making a message appropriate for the product and then posting it there.
You also spoke about making or clicking these mouth-watering photographs. I mean, that itself is an art.
Yes, sir. That does play an important role too, because if the product does not look good, there are not going to be any buyers for it. So that photograph, that plating, that picture that they're looking at, that also plays almost, I think it's good to say, a 50% role when it comes for the person thinking of whether I should buy it or not.
Excellent. Rahul, I have just one more question for you.
Yes, sir.
Very interesting, a name for your venture. How did you come up with Lazy Panda?
Yeah, so like I said, the inspiration came from my mom, because I was just sitting around in the house doing nothing. So my mom likes cooking and I just like eating, and because of that, my mom came up, you're just sitting around doing nothing, why don't you do something, take orders and things like that. And I have a liking for bears, especially the panda, and it just came to me like something like that. And I thought, okay, Lazy Panda. So okay, yeah, everyone's lazy during the lockdown. No one's no one's doing anything much, just lazing around. So yeah, Lazy Panda.
Rahul, thank you for sharing that with us.
And also one more thing. This, I have fresh baked cupcakes that are going out for an order tomorrow.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So
amazing.
I'll just give me a minute. I will show you the plate of the nachos.
Sure.
Oh,
lovely.
beautiful.
Oh my
The
goodness.
chili cheese nacho. Sorry, the chicken and cheese nachos.
You're making us very hungry.
Yes. When he showed us the cupcake, I was wondering he could send us some cupcakes.
Sure, sir. Sure.
We would sit with a cup of tea.
Sure, sir.
Super. Thank you very much, Rahul, for sharing that with us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rahul.
Welcome, sir.
All right, moving ahead, we have Vinona.
Good
Hi,
evening.
Good evening.
So today, as you know, the name of my venture is Twin Kitchen, and one of my most selling dishes is the stuffed chicken. So today I'll be showing you the stuffed chicken. It's a pre-prepared dish, but I will pour the juices of the chicken on top so you can see how it's done and how it's presented. Just a second.
Sure. Ooh.
So stuffed chicken, and as you can see, we serve it with fried potatoes, and we also give an extra box of stuffing. So all the stuffing at the side, we put it in an extra box, apart from the chicken that's it's stuffed in the gut, as you can see, and then it's tied over here.
Wow.
So yeah, and then we give it also with potatoes and the stuff.
Looks amazing, Winona. Mouth watering.
Thank
Oh,
you.
the gravy.
Absolutely festive.
Yeah, this is the juice of
Very
the chicken,
much.
and you roast it with honey and all of that.
Wow.
So yeah.
All right, Winona, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So naming a venture can be very crucial, isn't it? So how did you
Correct.
come up with such a unique name and what does it signify?
So the Twin Kitchen actually is the acronym of all the members of my family. So I have my mother Trudy Ann, which is T, then me Winona W, then I have two brothers Ian and Nathan, which is I and N, and after that I have N, the other N, which is Noel. So initially when I started, I was doing it with my mother. I'm doing it with my mother. So when I started, people thought that it was twin because me and my mother were doing it together. And some people even told me you made a spelling mistake. So it wasn't actually, that wasn't the case. It is actually that it's the acronym of my family, and that is why it's twin. And like even like most days we have a lot of orders, so everyone just comes together and works as a family and to put out the orders, like someone's packing, someone else is delivering, like that. So yeah.
All right, thank you. That is amazing. Thank you, Winona. Okay, so we have Nashon who has joined us. Nashon?
Yes, sure.
Yes.
Hi,
Hi,
sure.
Nashon. Hello. So what are we seeing today? What are you telling us?
So I will be talking about my venture, which is named as Grillicious, which is a very similar word to delicious. So when the first thing a guest hears, like, oh, delicious, Grillicious. And the best-selling dish is named as chicken nash and cheese, which has a small part of my name in the dish. I wasn't able to prepare the dish today because of the exams and all, which just got over. I have
Yes.
sent the picture to Andre sir, which he will put it up.
Yes, I'll put it up for you. I'll put it up for you. Just a minute. So this is chicken nash and cheese.
And Ashwan, thank you very much for being part of our webinar, despite of you having exams, that are board exams, and being from our graduating batch. Thank you very much for that, Ashwan.
Most welcome, sir. So yeah, so the preparation of this dish, it's actually a very lengthy procedure, but the outcome is always lovely. People really like the dish. So it starts off with, I only use chicken breast, no other piece of the chicken, which is very succulent. And I marinate it with a lot of spices and powders. So it goes with onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, salt. And the distinctive part is that people, when they look at the dish, they don't come to know, but when they take the first bite, they get a nice and smoky flavor, and that is obtained when I smoke the chicken while it's marinating. Then inside I incorporate cheese, and there's salami, which is also flavored salami.
Wow.
And over that, it's marinated for a long period of time, after which I coat it with a nice flavorsome coating with egg and maida and flour. And it's fried, and it's also served, like I generally sell 3 pieces for 300, and it's one of my best selling dishes, and people just are awestruck by how exactly I managed to make it, so symmetrical and tasty at the same time. So that is just the hard work I put in to make this one dish, which is the best-selling dish for me.
Nacho, that looks amazing. And
Thank you.
what part of chicken do you use?
So for my dish, I believe in quality over quantity. So
Mhm.
I only use chicken breast, even if it's for a Chinese dish, which is in my menu, dragon chicken.
Right.
I only use the chicken breast, and that has been a very distinctive thing for me because whichever customer has bought the chicken for me, and
Mhm.
also I'm using the chicken from a really expensive place which is called NBC,
Okay.
and the guests are, and those are corn-fed chicken. So
Right.
that the chicken is so succulent that every guest that has the chicken from the place keeps asking me like, I wonder where you procured the chicken from because that is the most succulent chicken they've ever had. So like that quality of the dish and the ingredients that I'm using has helped me a lot. And that way through word of mouth, there have many other customers who have just come to me because they really love the taste. And it's a very distinctive dish, which not many have prepared or not many restaurants are preparing a dish like this. So that was one of the very helpful things for me.
Okay. Thank you, Nashwan. Thank you for that. I have one
Thank you,
question
sir.
for you.
Yeah, sure.
You finished up. Okay. So since you've been in the F&B service, you've been excelling in there. And what made you find your passion towards the kitchen?
So yes, of course, I know like all of us in college know that I'm an avid F&B guy and I've always been in the F&B department. But always, when it always came to kitchen, I think you know that too, that I always had a thing for cooking. So once this lockdown started and I thought of starting, it was a very vague idea to me because there were many other people who were starting it at the same time. So I was very confused like whether I should do it. And I also spoke to Annabelle ma'am about it, saying I have only one particular dish. And if I wanted to start a business with that dish, would that be like, ideal? So ma'am said it doesn't matter what it is, as long you make sure and you decide to start. And also I realized that F&B also incorporates food.
Yeah.
So when you're on the other spectrum and if you're on the other side, like I'm a server and I know what is happening in the kitchen, I know exactly what the chef needs or what the chef goes through, the time constraints, and how they have to prepare the dish on time and give it to the guests and it's delivered hot. So being on the other side of the spectrum has helped me a lot to understand what goes into the actual preparation of food. And eventually I know it helps me with the guests while I'm doing it. So I think it's a give and take situation for both of us, for the F&B food and the beverage aspect for me.
Very well said, Nashwan. Very, very well said. Thank you. Thank you for that. Next, we move on to a common question again. Ma'am Annabelle.
All right. So I have to say, I am beyond. I'm happy that I had a late lunch because otherwise I would not be able to sit down here and watch you all without drooling. I am beyond proud of each and every one of you. But let's get down to something that's really important. Everyone has a phenomenal product. That is undeniable. We have seen all of you with your, all the effort that it takes to make the product, to present it, and to make sure it gets to the customer. So my first thing, I'm going to address this to two people. One is Jordan and Rahul, the two tech savvy. Right now, I know that Jordan has a website. The others are using Instagram and Facebook and I don't know what else, but right now, customer acquisition is totally free, right? You are student entrepreneurs. We don't have to go beyond that. When I ask you for the time you take, what do you think the percentage of your day goes into making sure that you have a presence on social media? Jordan and Rahul, either one of you. Yeah.
So, now what I think is that when it comes to customer acquisition, we try to do our best in terms of we give the client what they are looking for. So we don't stick with just one option, but we go with many so that they have a wide range where they can see what they want. In terms of customer acquisition, we do a lot of marketing on social media. Since everyone's sitting at home at this point of time, we are using that to our advantage. We're doing a lot of campaigns on Instagram, on Facebook, through our website, and that's getting us the business right now. And I think in the day, whatever time we don't use for production goes into marketing, because that is one of the main aspects when you're looking into a business.
Wonderful. Rahul, you know, what you have done to balance class and production is really a unique prospect to show the dish during the week and then get all your orders, and so you're ready for the weekend. Was that something that came up organically, or was that one of your marketing skills?
I think that came from years of practice, because I've always had this, it's been drilled into me to keep everything ready in time. So there's a schedule for everything. So when it comes to making time for this, it starts on Sunday. Sundays and Mondays goes into preparing the dish, and then the photography, and then the message and everything that's prepared. Then by Tuesday or Wednesday latest is when the message goes out, and I close orders normally on Thursday or on Friday. So then the rest of Friday goes into picking up the ingredients, getting stuff ready. Saturday goes into preparing each order, and then Sunday mornings is delivery.
Right.
The latest I start delivering by 10:30, 11, and the latest that I would deliver is 12:30, unless a customer requires it to be delivered later or earlier, or sometimes during the week, if there is a certain party order or something like that. And then the whole process starts again.
I have to say, there's nothing lazy about you, because this is a very well time managed entire process. This next question goes out to Rachel and to Winona. The reason being is you all both have come from Rachel's dad is in the business, and Winona's mom has been doing this. How have you been able to use the data of customers that were already there and now build on your new customers?
Customer base, I think, is very important. You have to take feedback as it comes. It's critical to take feedback. And with cakes, it is it's very difficult. People who take wedding cakes and all don't really live close by. They mostly live far off. So for me, I had to completely build up a new customer base in and around where I stay, because I initially started only here. Now I've branched out all over Mumbai, but I had to start with a fresh clientele. So yeah.
So how do you maintain it? Are you keeping track of all your customers? Do you keep in touch with them by sending them messages, pictures, updating them, with what's going on?
Yeah, I do send them, like on occasions like Independence Day, we wish them, Women's Day, things like that. We do send them a message wishing them, and we also have these constant weekend menus that we put up just to keep up with the continuous businesses that are growing everywhere. So every Sunday we put out, or not every Sunday, almost every Sunday we put out a different menu apart from my main menu. So that helps keep they ask questions, and it automatically and if we made a mistake, we call the customer and apologize. Like there was this one time we had made a mistake, a dish was too salty and we couldn't do anything about it, but we did call up our customers and apologize for it. And I think that is what helped us maintain relationships with them.
Absolutely. Rachel, Winona, what I love is that you have this organically built up in you, because in business, maintaining your customers is an extremely important part. All of you know that ma'am was in business for 17 odd years, and putting out a great product every single day, to being precise, is one of the pillars of being in a business. But the second most important pillar is the ability to keep your customers, and being able, like any relationship, if there is a problem, you address it, you address it to the ability that you can placate the customer. So I love that you apologize to them. You know, as your business grows, you will realize we don't just apologize, it goes on to action. So even if you send them like, you know, maybe, you know, a little tiny cake that was tiny, absolutely tiny, that was decorated by a mom that says sorry, and it goes to them, it suddenly takes customer service, you know, to another whole level. But I love what you just said. Rachel, what about you?
Yes, ma'am. It's pretty similar. So our USP is a new week, is a new menu every week. So if I compare from the beginning to now, I think we get like 5 customers, new customers every week, and I think it's word of mouth and plus our engagement on social media and to keep everything going. And also, like Winona gave an example, I would say once so if you have to deliver somewhere far, we use these apps now, and there was
Right.
some delay and some problem. So what we did is we took it on the meal was on us, so the customer didn't feel that, and we took care of it. So you know, and I think putting up new menus every week, it just makes our regular customers and new customers look forward to it. And yeah, that's about it.
Wonderful. So what time in the week are you dropping this new menu?
So we put up new menus every Tuesday morning around
Okay.
11:30 to 12, and we
Okay.
on Friday in the evening at 6 or max 7.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Excellent. You know, I am absolutely awestruck by everyone. I almost feel like I cannot imagine I didn't do anything, but I am so proud of each of you. Nigel, we are waiting to see the millionaire cookie, and I'm so glad I cannot taste it because I don't think I'd be able to restrict myself to one cookie.
Yes, ma'am. Like, so this is a millionaire cookie.
Oh, yeah.
So as I told, like the caramel is very gooey and runny, which helps it like give a nice mouth feel. Like it just spreads everywhere in your mouth. And the short crust is there that like gives you a nice biscuity taste, and the chocolate that cuts down the sweetness of everything, and a pinch of salt that adds more flavor and burst out. So that's the millionaire cookie.
Wonderful. So Nigel,
Yes,
while
ma'am.
you were delivering all of these cookies to everywhere, did you have any problem with melting of the chocolate at the top? Did
Yes,
that
ma'am.
happen?
Like generally it melts like because it's chocolate, it just melts like due to the heat. And now like the temperatures are just changing randomly. Like one day it'll be cold, one day it'll be hot. So then it gets a bit tense, like to keep the chocolate in like stead, like keep it same. So what I tend to do is like I like the minute I don't keep it out like throughout the whole thing. Like I try and keep the whole thing inside the fridge, or I keep a cooling thing inside, like either a piece bag that helps it cool.
Right.
I know it's funny, right? Like why would you keep a piece bag inside? But then at the end of the day, like your product has to be maintained the same way as you give it to a customer or show it how to a customer. So that helps in keeping it out.
Wonderful. I love that you're using a pea bag, but Nigel, you can go to the pharmacy and get a cooling pack.
Yes, ma'am. I know.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I can't help but be a teacher. Sorry. So now to Ranavi, I have to say that I am thrilled that you're doing vegan and gluten-free. Besides almond flour, were there any other flours that you tried your products with? Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Yeah.
So for vegan brownies, you can use normal flour also. But for
Okay.
gluten-free, we have to use almond flour. I haven't tried any other product because I have read reviews and I think almond flour has the best reviews till now. So that is why.
Okay. All right. Was there any point in time with this whole, you know, because vegan customers tend to be extremely I'm sorry to all the vegans out there, but they can be a little picky, and understandably, because if you've decided to take on that, lifestyle, it is a difficult one in a world that it does not really address it completely. Have you had anybody that has probably said, "Are you sure it's vegan? Have you put in anything?"
Yes, so everybody has a doubt like how do you make vegan brownies without butter and all. So I always, so whenever a customer orders something that's vegan or gluten free, I give them a list of products that I use while making it. And I tell them the brand, and I give them all the information that is necessary for them to trust me while I make my products.
Wonderful. I have to say, you're on a winning ticket there with the everyone turning to vegetarianism and veganism, especially after this pandemic. Too, there's an excessive increase in it. So I wish you all the best,
Thank you, ma'am.
Ratnavi.
Thank you so much.
Fabulous, fabulous. So this, I'm going out to Andy. Andy, I want to commend you on your ability to be here and be so stoic. Thank you. When you showed us that cheesecake, for the people who've seen a cheesecake like that, they would understand, yes, it's a beautiful cheesecake. But for the average person, they tend generally, you are right, they want to see that, the
White
the
loose.
idea, yes, the idea of a cheesecake that is out there in the market. So with your product, do you send a little, like how Jordan has a little card that talks about his drink? Do you put out a little story that talks about Andy and then talks about the cheesecake?
Ma'am, that's actually something that I'm working on currently. It's not something that I send out with a cake now, but I know it's a different concept, so I try to explain it to people, and very often people do ask, what's the difference, or why is it so brown? So I have a good answer ready and a good explanation, so they can understand the value of it and why it's so special.
Okay, so you said you are now going to be putting the next two types, right? The ricotta Italian one and what was the other?
Japanese.
The Japanese one.
cheesecake.
Are you doing any kind of a promotion that says it's going to, we're dropping the Italian one from so and so time, and then all the hoopla that goes with the marketing of a product? Are you doing that?
So I'm just waiting for some pictures that I took to to make a nice poster and stuff like that to spread to the people that have already ordered from me, or people that seem interested, who have followed a page or something. So
Right.
Other than that, I'm not really doing anything that special, but I do think that I will create a good buzz and the product will spread from word of mouth.
Okay, this is specifically for me. How far do you deliver the cheesecake? Everywhere?
Ma'am, I use an app called VFast, so it's a courier service. So they deliver
So
all
then
the way
you're
to Siam.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Wonderful. Congratulations, Andy. Honestly.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. This question is for Nashon. Nashon, when you, again, I'm just like Andy, because, you said you're using a very specific kind of chicken from NCB. I understand how expensive it is, and do you, like Andy, need to educate your guests that you are using a higher product, a higher grade
good
of product?
quality chicken, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, indeed. So, like I said, like I mentioned before, that even for a normal dish, like say for example, dragon chicken, where they can use like say for example, thighs or any other part of the chicken, when I use the breast piece, so like there is obviously a difference in the taste and the difference in the texture of the chicken. And so that's the first question the guest asked me, as to what part of the chicken did you use while making the chicken, because this chicken is too soft or it's very succulent, which they really like. So that's the time I mention it to them that I am using only breast piece and only from a particular place which has corn-fed chicken, which is NBC. So basically, in that way, there are people who already know that this is just not the average chicken the normal restaurants use while giving it. So in that way, they already know by themselves that even if I say by the word of mouth NBC, people might not believe it until they taste it. So basically, that's the way through my food they get to know that yes, I am a man of my word and I use the best quality chicken.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I can imagine you have not had any irate guest because just by virtue of your product, uh, or have you had anyone who has had a problem? And how did you deal with it?
As of now, I haven't had a problem with anyone saying like the texture of the chicken was not right or anything of that sort. But there was one particular day on the day I was really busy, and then towards the last order, I was making the chicken nuts and cheese, and the last piece of the chicken was a little bit thicker as compared to the other two. And so while they were having it, it was just one of my friends, and he found it a little raw. So he mentioned it to me saying that the chicken was really tasty. I think he found one of the last piece which was a little raw. So I was like, I'm really sorry and apologize for that. And the very next day, instead of just giving him like, this one particular piece, because the entire dish costs 300 and there's a lot of costing which goes into it, I believed I gave him an entire portion of that chicken with the fries and the dip. And it was like just an entire complimentary dish, even though it hindered my cost. For him, he was like overjoyed. He was like, there was no need, although he was my friend. He was like, there was no need for you to do that. But I was like, that's the way you're supposed to retain your customers and maintain the, and they were like super happy about it, not just one piece. He's like, I'll eat it all over again with my family. So I believe that retaining customers in that way would also help me. I gained a lot more of his friends who in turn ordered back from me because they really loved it.
Wonderful. I so proud of you. Really, Nashon, so proud of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
This question goes out to Debraj.
Yes, ma'am.
Debraj, now this is totally as Ma'am Annabelle asking you, how are you balancing college and your orders? Because you know
Yes,
you
ma'am.
already got one little shouting from me. So tell me how you're doing it and what are you doing to manage your time?
So we do the preparation in the night. I have a friend helping me along with the preparation, and I have one more person who is taking care of the delivery. So in the morning, I just pay attention to my lectures in the college, and then in the evening we take orders. The timing is only from evening 6 o'clock till 12 o'clock midnight. We take orders at least before 5 hours or one day prior. So the preparation, we do the preparation earlier, and then we in the evening I just prepare the product, and then it goes out to the guest.
Wonderful. Uh, so I'm going to ask you another thing because I was watching you make that dish, and being somebody who's constantly bothered about how much more weight she's putting on, do you have a healthy option?
Till now I do not have any healthy options, but I'm still figuring out. People are really telling me to add up more dishes and items and products to my menu. So till now I have not yet finalized my whole menu, but I'm and definitely I will find it out.
Wonderful, because it looked so delicious, but I could just feel a part of me getting bigger just by watching that video. Absolutely delicious food, Devraj, as always.
Thank you.
So to all of you, just a small, I'm hoping that everybody is banking their profits and investing it wisely and making sure that these profits are invested back into the business, because this is the beginning. As far as I'm concerned, all of you are Mark Zuckerbergs. And I'm hoping that we have all these fantastic food companies that are going to grow from these ventures that have started, whether it was your passion, whether it was getting bored, whether it was making sure that your creativity was completely tapped. I wish each and every one of you the very best, and I can only see greater things happening. Needless to say, I will be ordering slowly but surely from everyone. Otherwise, already ma'am has put on weight. There'll be more weight to be put on. I will now open it out to questions from, there are a bunch of students who might have questions. So I think, Melroy Chef, can you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
If anybody has any questions, you can drop it out in the chat box below, or you can unmute yourself and go ahead with it. Okay, there's one question. There's one question for Devraj. Sorry, ma'am. You're saying something?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Devraj, there's a question. Why did you use fresh cream in your Alfredo? You're on mute. You need to unmute yourself.
Mute.
Yeah. If I use a bechamel, it gives, I've tried with bechamel as well. So it gives you a little bit of milky flavor. Where if you use a fresh cream, it gives you a more creamy texture. I've also tried with half and half, like half bechamel and half cream.
Right.
So it's really not up to the mark. If I'm selling my product has to be good and the customer should like it. So my dad suggested me to use only fresh cream.
Okay.
Like Amul fresh cream, not bechamel.
Okay. So you prefer using bechamel? Or
yeah, fresh cream.
Fresh cream. Okay. Thank you, Devraj.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else, any questions? You can please drop it down in the chat box, or you can unmute and ask.
If there are no questions, what I would love is going down the line with each panelist to give a shout out to all their customers and to their customer base and to the new customers. They can address everyone. We'll start off with Nashon.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
We'll give you a minute or two to talk to all your customers and to get new customers. Go for it.
Okay, ma'am. So like I mentioned before, the name Grillicious is a very good synonym for delicious, and that's exactly what my food is. And to all the customers out there, I think I've already spoken about it in the webinar itself about the quality of the chicken I use and the quality of the ingredients for that matter that I use. And my menu isn't vast. I started off with very few dishes, in fact just 4, but the outcome of those 4 dishes was stupendous. I had like a lot of people just asking me for repeated dishes. But as soon as this exam gets done, I have a lot of dishes in mind to be added. And I think that I believe, again, I would say, mention quality over quantity. And I also use this tagline on my Instagram page. It says, deliver the best to the best. So the customers out there that really require the best or want the best and like to taste, I would definitely give them what they want.
Excellent, excellent. Look forward to you just growing in leaps and bounds, Nashon.
Yes, ma'am, definitely.
Fabulous. Jordan?
Yes, ma'am.
Go for it. I know that you have had a lot of celebrity customers too, and who have absolutely loved your product. So you shout out to all your customers, repeat, and then potentially the whole host of new ones.
So, ma'am, everyone who's ordered from Bartisans has always had a great experience. And anyone who has a problem, we keep building upon those reviews. So, for example, people had a problem with not having a jigger at home. So we provided them with measuring spoons, plastic measuring spoons, which they can use to measure out their ingredients. So we keep working on that, and we're very thankful to all our customers who have ordered till now, because they're the reason that we keep getting better. To our new customers, I'm sure that everyone is sitting at home and they have this little nag in them that says, man, I miss a good drink at a bar. And with the closure of our restaurants and bars, we give you that opportunity to do this on your own, at your own house. You can use your own imagination and work on making your own drink And the best part is you can show off, like, well, I made a cocktail at home. What did you do? So that's how we wanna push it forward in that way to help people make better cocktails at home. So
Wonderful. Thank you, Jordan.
thank you.
I wish you all the best. And I know the people who've already tried it have given rave reviews. So all the very best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jordan. Nigel,
Yes, ma'am.
a shout out to all the millionaires from the millionaire. Come on.
So my entrepreneur is Cookie and Crumble. Like, the name came from thinking like, okay, it's a dessert. So what comes in your mind when you think of a sweet dish? So the cookie came, and then I'm like, oh, while I'm eating a cookie, like, or a pie, like, there's always a mess while I'm eating something. So the crumble. So that's how my name came, Cookie and Crumble. Customer services, I don't think I have any like obviously there's a lot of competition now. Like normally people have their own preferences, so I don't take into that all like, oh, build up something. Like, if you have a good relation with someone, it should last for a long time. So I feel that all lasts for me.
Wonderful. Excellent. Nigel, you have to
Yes, ma'am.
keep the relationship going. There's a word that they say, you have to service the relationship.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I'm sure that the cookie itself is fabulous. But you have
Thank
to
you,
keep
ma'am.
that with your customers. Excellent.
Yes, ma'am.
Next is Rachel.
Yes, ma'am. To talk about the Naronas overall, like I spoke in the webinar, we have a new menu every week with new dishes every time. I can also say that we've gotten good feedback, and even for the negative, we see to it that we work towards it in the following menus. And it's been almost 2 months since we started this, and we've gotten great response. We have customers till date who have started with us from the first menu itself, and we're very grateful for them. And for the new ones who are joining us in the coming weeks, I'm sure that they'll also enjoy. And we see to it that we meet up to their demands and expectations. And this is just like a short snapshot of how we operate.
Wonderful. Rachel, I have to say that chicken looked absolutely divine. I'm only going to ask you, is there a gluten-free option?
Ma'am, we'll work on it.
That's just me. Sorry. Lucky folks that can eat everything else. Okay, Ratnavi.
Ma'am, she just texted me. Her net
Oh,
is
giving
acting up.
problem.
Yeah, she's
Wonderful. Okay, we'll go to our Lazy Panda.
Yes, ma'am.
Shout out to your customers.
Okay, so the USP basically is a new dish every weekend, something different every weekend. So you have your lazy weekend. Let me do the work. You can enjoy a happy meal, and I'm sure you won't be disappointed. We do get a lot of feedback from our customers, and I do work on it. I do work on the feedback, the positive and the negative ones. And when it comes to the customer base, we've grown a lot since we started in May, and so looking forward to many of you joining the Lazy Panda family. Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful. Definitely, we'll all be joining in. All right, Winona. Did I lose Winona too? Okay, I'll go to Debraj. Debraj,
Yes,
shout out to your customers. What do you have to say to all your customers?
We do take.
Oh, sorry, Debraj. Winona is back. Winona is back. Okay, so go for it, Winona.
Ma'am, I just like to say, since the past 3 months that I've started this business, it's been a great growth for me. And one thing I should say is that we are because of you. Without a customer base, we would be nothing. So we are because of our customer, and we have a lot of upcoming things coming. menus are changing, everything is building up. So we just hope that you'll stay tuned. And if you do want to check out my twin.
Ooh, we've lost Winona.
Yes, ma'am. Some network issues.
Okay. All right. So, Debraj, let's go back to you. Sorry, Debraj.
No, it's
Yes.
okay. So my kitchen name is Raj Homestyle Kitchen. Raj is basically my pet name. Like everyone calls me Raj. So I just thought of giving it a name. So we do take care of our customers. Like I really take the feedback on WhatsApp or personally when I go to deliver. So what happened with me was one customer like the chicken lollipop soft, soft one, and the other one like it crispier. So I do before ordering, before the confirmation of the order, I do ask their preferences, like how would you like the product to be, a little more softier, crispy, little bit spicy, and little bit So yes, and we definitely work on the feedback. Like if I do get a negative feedback, I really look into it and I apologize from myself, and I try to work on it, and I do give a little bit of extra, as Nashon said. Like next time you give something more extra or something, a new dish or something sweet, that's really will work it.
Fantastic. Okay, I have to say now we're going to call you Raj because Devraj knows I mix you up with the other DV, RAJ in your class. So good to know. We're going to call you Raj from now.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks.
And Andy and his cheesecakes. Your shout out to your customers.
So I want to start off by saying that I'm really grateful for everyone that's ordered and taken the time and put in the money to invest basically in my business. And I try at the end of the day, I try so that everyone's happy at the end of it. People feel like they've got a good product for their money, and and just that they're happy at the end of the day with what they got.
Wonderful, wonderful. To each and every one of you, I wish you all the very best. You all are the bright, shining stars of the future. You have your life ahead of you. You have taken what is otherwise the most awful year and converted it to the most productive year. And that's what makes winners. So each and every one of you are tremendous. Keep it up. And life is only going to be even brighter, even more wonderful, even more fabulous with this kind of passion and drive and risk taking. So thank you very much. Andre sir and Melroy Chef, thank you very much for curating
Pleasure,
this
ma'am.
and
Thank
getting
you, ma'am.
these kids together, making sure, and I know that each one of you has inspired them like the rest of my faculty too. To all the parents who are extremely supportive, because it is truly very easy to say, yes, this is what I want to do. But I'm sure these kids have disrupted your lives to make sure that this happens, or to work as a team like Winona's, or like Rahul's mom to get the Lazy Panda going, to Jordan's parents who have always been stellar. I know that everybody, Andy's parents, Devraj's parents, each and every one of you, Ratnavi's family, it takes not just a village to bring up a child. It takes an entire community to get a business off the ground. So with that, thank you, parents. Ladies and gentlemen who have joined us, the first years, other ex-students and friends, thank you very much for attending, empowering and motivating these customers just by your presence on this, panelists, just by your presence on this webinar. With that, we wish you all the very best. Please order from these wonderful kids, student entrepreneurs that are going to be stars. You're getting it at a deal now. when they are celebrity cooks and beverage makers and distributors, it's going to cost a whole lot more. So get in on the ground floor, order from them, make sure you are one of the initial under 100 customers, because those become your star customers when you turn big. And I wish you all the very best. Waiting to see you all in person when we get back. With that, everyone have a wonderful evening. Again, a shout out to the webinar team. Andre sir for his wonderful taglines. Melroy Chef, our IT chef turned IT person. To Raul and Justin. Raul's on the front this time, but otherwise he's always backed in. With Justin, who's always there making sure that things run. Susan ma'am, Roma ma'am, Chef Prasad. And to the rest of the team, thank you very much. Students, we miss you. Waiting to get back to seeing all of you. And ever so proud that you are products of Don Bosco College Hospitality Studies. But what you have achieved is purely your sense of drive and your parents and the community behind you. So with that, have a wonderful evening and thank you, everybody. Thank you, Melroy Chef. Thank you, Andre.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, panel.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, panel.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
So loud.